All right, let's dive straight into Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power. We're basically aiming to unpack the core ideas here, get a real handle on these power dynamics.
Exactly. Not just listing rules, but exploring how they uh, actually play out, how you might see them or even use them. It's about understanding the game, really.
Okay, so law number one, never outshine the master. This one feels pretty fundamental for anyone working in, like, a hierarchy.
It really is. It's all about managing upwards, making sure the people above you feel comfortable, feel secure. You don't want them seeing you as a threat.
So it's not about hiding your talent, but maybe being strategic about how you display it.
Precisely. You perform well, but you make sure the boss feels like the brilliant one. It's a delicate balance, especially with insecure leaders. It paves the way for them to support you later, maybe.
Okay, that makes sense. Then law two flips things a bit. Never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies. Sounds quite harsh.
It does sound cynical, yeah. But the logic Green presents is that friends can betray you out of envy or shifting emotions. Enemies, though, their motivations are often clearer, based on self-interest.
So you can potentially create more predictable alliances with former enemies if you give them the right incentives.
That's the idea. It's about cold, calculated alliances based on mutual benefit, which can sometimes be more reliable than purely emotional ties.
Interesting. Law three, conceal your intentions. This feels very cloak and dagger.
It's about strategic ambiguity. If people don't know your real goals, they can't effectively counter you. Think negotiations or competitive environments.
Right. You keep them guessing, maybe lead them down the wrong path.
Exactly. It's about maintaining that information advantage. Misdirection.
Then law four, always say less than necessary. The power of silence.
Yeah, this one's fascinating. Brevity can make you seem more powerful, more confident. Saying less makes your words carry more weight.
And silence itself can be intimidating, can't it? Makes people uncomfortable.
Definitely. People rush to fill the void, and in doing so, they might reveal things. It projects control, like you know more than you're letting on.
Moving to law five, guard your reputation with your life.
Yeah,
This seems pretty self-explanatory, but Greene really emphasizes it.
absolutely. He sees reputation as the cornerstone of power. It's how people perceive you, and that dictates how they treat you, what opportunities come your way.
So it's not just about having a good reputation, but actively managing and defending it.
Yes, protect it fiercely. It can be a shield or a weapon to undermine rivals if their reputation is attacked. It's crucial.
Okay, law six, court attention at all costs. This sounds like the opposite of law four in some ways.
Yeah, there are apparent contradictions throughout the book, but this one is about visibility. In a world crowded with messages, you need to be noticed to have influence.
Even if it's negative attention.
Green argues yes, sometimes. Bad publicity is still publicity. It makes you stand out. Of course, you'd ideally want to control the narrative, but being ignored is seen as worse.
Got it. Law seven, let others do the work, but always take the credit. This one feels, well, ethically dubious to many.
Oh, definitely. It's one of the more controversial ones. But strategically, it's about positioning yourself as the mastermind, the one responsible for success, even if others did the heavy lifting.
Elevates your status through delegation and skillful credit claiming.
That's the mechanism, yeah. Efficiency and leveraging others' efforts for your own gain.
All right, law eight, make others come to you. Use bait if necessary. Control the interaction.
Right. If people initiate contact or enter your space, you inherently have more control over the situation. You set the terms.
Like drawing clients or investors into your orbit rather than chasing them.
Exactly. It shifts the power dynamic immediately. You're the one being sought out.
Law nine, win through your actions, never through argument. Show, don't just tell.
This is about the power of demonstration. Arguing can create resentment and often changes few minds. But achieving tangible results, that's undeniable proof of your competence or the validity of your point.
Actions speak louder than words, essentially.
Pretty much, yeah. It's more persuasive and less confrontational in the long run.
Law 10. Avoid the unhappy and unlucky. This sounds a bit like avoiding negative energy.
It is. Green suggests that negativity, misfortune, drama, they're contagious. Associating with perpetually unhappy or unlucky people can drain your resources, your morale, and even tarnish your own reputation.
Surround yourself with positivity and success instead.
That's the implication. Build a network that lifts you up rather than drags you down.
Okay. Law 11. Learn to keep people dependent on you, creating indispensability.
Yes, if people rely on you for something crucial, skills, knowledge, resources, you gain significant leverage over them. Their dependence ensures their loyalty, or at least their cooperation.
Useful for job security or managing teams, perhaps?
Could be applied in those contexts, yeah. It secures your position.
Law 12. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. Victim. Strong word.
It is. This law is about using calculated acts of honesty or kindness to build trust, which then makes your target more vulnerable to manipulation later.
So a small truth makes the bigger deception more believable.
Precisely. It lowers their guard. The unexpected honesty disarms them.
Law 13. When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. Very pragmatic.
Extremely. Forget appealing to altruism, Greene says. Frame your requests so the other person sees what's in it for them.
How will helping you benefit them? That's the key.
That's the core of it. Align your needs with their interests for the best chance of getting what you want.
Law 14. Pose as a friend, work as a spy. Intelligence gathering undercover.
Yeah, this leverages the trust inherent in friendships. By appearing friendly, you can gather information and insights that wouldn't be available otherwise, useful for understanding competitors or navigating complex social situations.
Sounds like it could destroy actual friendships, though.
Oh, absolutely. The book often prioritizes power over personal relationships in its advice.
Okay, Law 15. Crush your enemy. Totally. No half measures.
This is about decisiveness in conflict. If you leave an enemy partially defeated, they might recover and seek revenge. Complete elimination of the threat prevents future problems.
Pretty ruthless. Applicable in things like hostile takeovers, maybe?
Or neutralizing any significant rival, yes. Don't give them a chance to regroup.
Law 16. Use absence to increase respect and honor. Scarcity creates value.
Right. If you're always available, people might take you for granted. Strategic withdrawal, making yourself less accessible, can make your presence more valued and increase demand.
A little bit of mystery, perhaps.
Exactly. It enhances your aura. Familiarity breeds contempt, as they say.
Law 17. Keep others in suspended terror. Cultivate an air of unpredictability. Keep them guessing.
Yeah, if people can't predict your moves, they're constantly off balance. It makes it hard for them to prepare or counter you. Unpredictability gives you a psychological edge.
Creates anxiety in others, which you can then leverage.
That seems to be the idea. Control through uncertainty.
Then Law 18 kind of swings back. Do not build fortresses to protect yourself. Isolation is dangerous. Stay connected.
It's a crucial counterpoint. While strategic absence, Law 16, is useful, complete isolation cuts you off from vital information and alliances. You become vulnerable.
So you need networks for intelligence and support.
Yes. Power relies on connections. Cutting yourself off entirely is usually a mistake.
Law 19. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. Tell her your approach.
This is about social intelligence. Understand the personalities, motivations, and, crucially, the potential dangers of the people you interact with. Don't treat everyone the same.
Because offending someone powerful or volatile could have serious consequences.
Exactly. You need to know who you can push, who you need to flatter, and who you should avoid altogether.
Law 20. Do not commit to anyone. Stay neutral. Stay flexible.
This advises against taking firm sides or forming restrictive alliances. By remaining independent, you retain your freedom of action and can potentially play different factions against each other.
Keeps your options open. Avoids getting dragged into others' battles.
That's the core benefit, yes. Flexibility and autonomy.
Law 21. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. Strategic stupidity.
Huh, you could call it that. By pretending to be less intelligent than you are, you make your opponent underestimate you. They lower their guard, become complacent, maybe reveal weaknesses.
Let them feel superior, so they drop their defenses.
Precisely. It's a form of deception using perceived inferiority.
Law 22. Use the surrender tactic. Transform weakness into power. Strategic retreat.
Yeah, this isn't about giving up permanently. It's about yielding temporarily when you're outmatched. It buys you time, conserves resources, and can lull the opponent into a false sense of security.
So you can regroup and come back stronger later.
Exactly. Surrender as a strategic maneuver, not just defeat.
Law 23. Concentrate your forces. Focus for maximum impact.
This is about resource allocation. Don't spread yourself too thin. Identify the critical points, the key objectives, and focus your energy and resources there to overwhelm resistance.
Like focusing marketing spend on one key demographic, perhaps.
Or concentrating military force on a decisive point. The principle is focus equals power.
Law 24. Play the perfect courtier. Mastering the art of indirect influence.
This is about navigating social hierarchies, especially around powerful people. It involves flattery, grace, adapting to the moods of superiors, and generally making yourself agreeable and indispensable within the court.
So it's about social maneuvering to gain favor and influence.
Exactly. Playing the game of appearances and subtle manipulation within established power structures.
Law 25. Recreate yourself. Don't be defined by others' expectations.
This is about personal transformation and controlling your own image. Don't accept the role society assigns you. Forge a new identity, one that commands attention and respect. It's about self-invention.
Especially useful maybe after a setback or during a career change.
Yes, reinventing yourself can help you stay relevant, adapt to change, or escape past limitations.
Law 26. Keep your hands clean, using others for dirty work.
This involves using scapegoats or intermediaries to handle unpleasant or ethically questionable tasks. It allows you to achieve your aims while maintaining an appearance of innocence or avoiding blame.
So you get the result without the negative association.
That's the goal, though you risk the intermediary turning on you or messing up, of course.
Law 27. Play on people's need to believe to create a cult-like following, exploiting belief systems.
This taps into the deep human desire for meaning, belonging, and something to believe in. By creating a compelling vision, rituals, and an us versus them mentality, you can inspire intense loyalty and devotion.
Sounds like it could apply to branding or even organizational culture.
Absolutely. Creating that fervent belief and sense of community.
Law 28. Enter action with boldness. Confidence is key.
Hesitation breeds doubt, both in yourself and in others. Boldness, even if it's partly feigned, projects confidence, overcomes resistance, and often makes success more likely. Timidity invites trouble.
Seize the moment with conviction.
Right. If you decide to act, act decisively.
Law 29. Plan all the way to the end. Think long-term.
Don't just focus on the immediate steps. Consider all possible consequences, obstacles, and the ultimate outcome. Having a clear vision of the end helps you navigate towards it effectively and avoid being surprised by events.
Anticipate reactions and plan contingencies.
Exactly. Foresight and thorough planning are crucial.
Law 30. Make your accomplishments seem effortless. The illusion of natural talent.
Conceal the toil, the practice, the struggle behind your successes. If it looks like it came easily to you, it creates an aura of natural genius, which can be intimidating and impressive.
Don't reveal the tricks of the trade.
Pretty much. Maintain the mystery around your abilities.
Law 31. Control the options. Get others to play with the cards you deal. Framing choices.
This is about structuring choices for others so that whatever they pick serves your interests. Limit their options, present them in a biased way. It gives them the illusion of control while you steer the outcome.
Like offering two solutions, both of which benefit you.
Exactly. You're controlling the menu they choose from.
Law 32. Play to people's fantasies. Appeal to dreams, not reality.
People are often more motivated by grand visions and idealized promises than by stark reality. Tapping into fantasies of wealth, romance, success, utopia can be incredibly persuasive.
Selling the dream, essentially. Used in marketing and politics all the
Right,
time.
all the time. Reality can be mundane, fantasy is compelling.
Law 33. Discover each man's thumbscrew. Find and exploit weaknesses.
Everyone has insecurities, vulnerabilities, hidden desires. Identifying these thumbscrews allows you to subtly manipulate or control them by applying pressure where it hurts most, or by satisfying a hidden need.
Requires careful observation and understanding of psychology.
Deeply. It's about finding that leverage point unique to the individual.
Law 34. Be royal in your own fashion. Act like a king to be treated like one. Projecting status.
This is about self-perception and presentation. Carry yourself with dignity, confidence, and an air of authority. Your own belief in your high status influences how others perceive and treat you.
Fake it till you make it, in a sense, but with regal bearing.
Kind of, yeah. Your demeanor sets the tone for how you're treated. Demand respect through your actions and presence.
Law 35. Master the art of timing. Knowing when to act.
Acting too soon or too late can ruin the best laid plans. Understanding the rhythm of events, recognizing the opportune moment, and having the patience to wait, or the decisiveness to strike, that's mastery of timing.
Sensing the right moment based on trends, moods, or opponent's vulnerability.
All of the above. It's about strategic patience and swift action combined.
Law 36. Disdain things you cannot have. Ignoring them is the best revenge. Psychological defense.
If something is truly beyond your reach, dwelling on it breeds frustration and envy. By actively scorning it, acting different, you deny it power over you and deny satisfaction to any rivals who might possess it.
Protects your own focus and composure.
Exactly. It's a way to maintain inner equilibrium and focus on what is achievable.
Law 37. Create compelling spectacles. The power of dramatic display.
Humans are drawn to visual drama and grand gestures. Using spectacle impressive events, symbolic actions can capture attention, communicate power, and overwhelm people's rational judgment.
Think large-scale product launches or political rallies.
Perfect examples. They create an emotional impact that mere words often can't.
Law 38. Think as you like, but behave like others. Blend in outwardly.
This is about strategic conformity. Maintain your own independent thoughts and plans in private, but outwardly conform to the prevailing social norms and conventions to avoid attracting unwanted attention or conflict.
Especially useful in conservative or restrictive environments.
Yes. Don't make yourself an unnecessary target by slanting your unconventional views. Blend in to survive and operate effectively.
Law 39. Stir up waters to catch fish, creating chaos for opportunity.
Sometimes a stable situation benefits your rivals. By strategically creating turmoil or conflict, you can disrupt the status quo, expose hidden opportunities, uncover information, or weaken opponents.
Fishing in troubled waters that you yourself have troubled.
Precisely. Calculated disruption to gain an advantage.
Law 40. Despise the free lunch. Be wary of gifts and hidden obligations.
Things that seem free often come with strings attached, expectations of reciprocity, hidden costs, manipulative intent. Be suspicious of free offers and understand the potential obligations they entail.
Nothing is truly free. Always look for the catch.
That's the essence. Avoid being trapped by seeming generosity.
Law 41. Avoid stepping into a great man's shoes. Forge your own path.
Succeeding a prominent or successful predecessor is difficult. You'll constantly be compared and live in their shadow. It's often better to find your own domain, create your own legacy, rather than trying to fill giant shoes.
Establish your own unique identity and power base.
Yes, avoid the comparison game by creating your own game.
Law 42. Strike the shepherd and the sheep will scatter. Target the leader.
A group's cohesion and strength often depend on its leader. By neutralizing the leader, removing them, discrediting them, you can often cause the entire group to fall apart or become ineffective.
Disrupt the head and the body falters. Useful in corporate battles or dismantling rival factions.
Exactly. A direct strike at the source of power and direction.
Law 43. Work on the hearts and minds of others. Appeal to emotion and intellect.
Lasting influence requires more than just coercion or logical argument. You need to connect with people emotionally, win their affection, and trust their hearts, while also appealing to their self-interest and reason, their minds.
A holistic approach to persuasion.
Right. Seduce them on multiple levels for deeper, more enduring loyalty.
Law 44. Disarm and infuriate with the mirror effect. Mimic your opponent.
By subtly mirroring your opponent's actions, gestures, or strategies, you can unsettle them. It can make them self-conscious, expose their tactics, or even put them on the defensive as they see themselves reflected back.
A psychological tactic to unbalance them.
Yes, it can be used to mock, to understand, or to manipulate by creating a confusing echo of their own behavior.
Law 45. Preach the need for change, but never reform too much at once. Gradual implementation.
People resist drastic change. While you might advocate for significant reform publicly, implement changes incrementally. Allow people time to adjust. Gradualism reduces opposition and makes change more sustainable.
Avoid shocking the system too much.
Exactly. Slow, steady steps often get you further than radical leaps that provoke backlash.
Law 46. Never appear too perfect. Strategic imperfection.
Constantly appearing flawless can arouse envy, suspicion, and make you seem unrelatable or even inhuman. Occasionally revealing minor flaws or vulnerabilities can make you seem more approachable, human, and less threatening.
Allows others to feel superior in some small way, maybe. Reduces envy.
Could be. It also builds rapport. Perfection can be alienating.
Law 47. Do not go past the mark you aimed for. In victory, learn when to stop. Avoid overreaching.
Success can be intoxicating. It's easy to get carried away and push too far, creating new enemies or stretching your resources too thin. Knowing when you've achieved your objective and consolidating your gains is crucial.
Don't let victory lead to arrogance and downfall.
Precisely. Recognize the limits of success and the dangers of overextension.
And finally, Law 48. Assume formlessness. Be adaptable.
The world is fluid and unpredictable. Power comes from being flexible, adaptable like water. Don't get locked into rigid strategies or predictable patterns. Be able to change shape and approach as circumstances demand.
Constant adaptation to counter opponents and navigate change.
Exactly. Formlessness makes you elusive, unpredictable, and ultimately more resilient and powerful in the long run.